Makeup. Welcome to Buffalo Bills pregame, week 13 here in the NFL, early December, and the weather's still beautiful here in Buffalo. Gotta love it. Man. We did not get a topic of discussion submitted this week, and it's a shame because had you submitted just one, you would have be in the running for a $25 grand prize at the end of the season. There is free money involved, so make sure you suggest those topics. Top story this week, Queen City Miracle. The Titans have dominated the Bills for the past several years. Will the history of this matchup come to bite us in our butts? Jared.
I'm a huge believer in karma and history, as most people know from if they've seen me at all on the show. Well, anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is, yeah,
I do like it when you're here, though.
Thank you.
In front of the mic.
Yay. No, I think that the history is just going to follow us. The Titans have always had the Bills' number ever since the comeback game, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I think. But yeah, it's just the Titans have always had the Bills' number, and I think that the fact that Matt Hasselbeck's having a good year, Chris Johnson's starting to step up, I think overall the Titans are going to have this game, and truthfully, they have more to play for. They have the Houston Texans are running with a third-string QB right now. If anyone's going to overtake that division, it's going to be Tennessee. So
I think it has more to do than history than what's going on right now. Hasselbeck's a huge step up in quarterback. Chris Johnson's not that he's improving as much as coming back to regular Chris Johnson form. Do you think history has anything to do with it when the Bills' rosters turned over so much? Do they remember the difficulty we had against this team in the past?
No, I don't think there was too many people around when we were playing them before. So I don't think that's going to play into effect. Like you said, Chris Johnson, because he was out, is now getting into like mid-season form at this point because he missed so many weeks at the beginning of the season holding out. So I think it's going to be difficult, especially since our run defense isn't that great anyway. If he gets
up, our pass defense is amazing.
If he gets up ahead of steam, I think it's going to be another long week.
A couple of weeks ago, we were really interested in how matchups looked across the NFL, possible tiebreakers. Bills are 5-6 going into this game. Titans 6-5. Nakia, does it matter? Does it even matter that if we win this game, we have the tiebreaker?
I don't really think so because, like I said, with the Bills, unless they win out and we get some help, I don't think playoffs are in our future. And I think there are a couple of teams that will come to bite us, in the butt. I mean, Denver is winning in like the last 30 seconds of every game. I'm like,
cardiac kids.
Don't talk about it. So we could be up, and then here comes Tim Tebow with the 5-yard touchdown run. Not even a pass; he's gonna run it in himself.
I'm waiting for the jump pass. Where did that disappear to?
So
that's got to come out of the arsenal soon enough. But enough Denver analysis.
Yeah,
Jared,
okay.
Does it matter to you at all having this tiebreaker going in after this week?
I think. Well, the thing is, we all know how Buffalo radio is. If the Bills win, playoff Super Bowl. If they lose, let's talk about the draft. It seems like that's every single week. It's one extreme or the other. Right? Exactly. So I think that if we win this game, which we will have the tiebreaker over Tennessee in the rankings, if we win this game, people will really get back on the bandwagon. Now, do I think we're going to make the playoffs? Honestly, no. But I'll tell you right now, I do believe that that'll at least be some sort of motivational thing where we might have one final push.
Sitting at 6-5, I feel so much better about the Titans' chances than us at 5-6. And us at 6-6, I still don't feel good about it. But breaking down the game, Chris Johnson is starting to improve, as we mentioned. Will he solo dominate the Bills' D, or are they going to with more balanced attack, or will the defense put up any stop?
I think they're going to use him. I'm trying to think and see who else they have on their offense to kind of help them out, and they don't really have anybody but him. There's nobody that stands out and says, okay, if he can't run, we're going to throw to this guy. There are no big names. It's pretty much just him. I don't know what happened to their receiving corps, but they don't really, to me, they don't have anybody. But they don't need anybody with our defense.
Matt Hasselbeck moves to Tennessee this year, is average year, 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. The Bills were turnover machines earlier in the year, going against the experience of Matt Hasselbeck. Can we hope for any return to that form, or is he going to be able to protect the ball well enough to keep our defense on the field?
Well, the problem is we haven't generated any pass rush on the quarterbacks, and any quarterbacks we've played, all of them have just sat back there and looked pretty and thrown the ball around. I personally, on another completely different note, the game's blocked off. I feel kind of bad I'm not going to be able to see Hasselbeck as a Titan because I've been kind of looking forward to seeing that.
And this is the only game he'll ever play in that jersey.
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens next year. But what I'm saying is that like it's just a shame that I won't be able to see that. But to get back to the original point, yeah, he's gonna be able to sit back there and throw the ball around. Probably make those no-name receivers look pretty good, and they might actually get some ESPN time.
I mean, Hasselbeck, I think, would have been the Tom Brady of our generation had he not gone to Seattle and floundered with a terrible team. Like, I give all the credit in the world to Carson Palmer, who just threw his hands in the air and gave up in Cincinnati, and I can't believe Hasselbeck stuck it out as long as he could. I mean, he always they used to have the QB competitions during the off season that were real popular. If not winning every year, he was always like right at the top. A lot of talent. I've always admired Hasselbeck. The Titans D shut down Cam Newton, who is a playmaker and a half, surrounded by playmakers. Will they have similar success against our ragtag group of Irish quarterback-led individuals, Jared?
Well, I think Fitzpatrick will disrupt their D a little. But I think the fact that this is the second week in a row that we have that line together in their positions will help the pass rush. But I think the problem is really going to come down to the running game. We don't have a running game. Spiller is not a good running back. I don't know how else to put it. I'm trying to think of a nicer way of saying it, but I can't.
All the Clemson fans are going to get you.
That's fine. Whatever. Comment all you want. But look.
Move out of the ACC and I might take you seriously.
Okay, I don't even. The whole Division II thing. Thank God we didn't get any comments on that one.
It's whatever. Carry on.
Okay, that's it. No, I think the running game, that's going to be the problem, and not so much the passing. It's just we don't have a running game. But Tennessee's going to take advantage of it.
And then they're just going to rush Fitzpatrick, and he's going to continue to...
Yeah, they're not going to respect the running. They're not going to... Tashard Choice, negative 17 yards for the year.
Will Stevie be able to make the plays against Cortland Finnegan like he did against Darrelle Revis?
I think he can, but Cortland, I think, is a more physical player than Darrelle Revis. So it's got to be hard, and there may be a whole lot of hitting and smacking and a fight or something. Because Cortland Finnegan is not going to back down. Darrelle Revis, he'll play you, and he's a good player. But Cortland Finnegan, if he can't get his way, it's going to get real ugly.
Jared, what do you think of Cortland Finnegan versus Revis?
Well, I mean, I think Revis is the better player, but I don't see Stevie Johnson having the same really good game he had last week on Revis Island. And plus, I mean, you just can't. I don't see him repeating. I really don't.
I mean, as limited as we are on offense, we're going to need more than 80-some yards and 1 touchdown from Stevie Johnson. If he's going to be a #1 receiver, we really need something better than that. And if we're hoping to get that same production out of him against Cortland Finnegan, I think we're talking about trouble.
He needs some stickum. I don't know what's going on with his hands, but
we had the game. I'm going a little off topic.
We need to do him
like 3 times.
Like they did in the old program movie, and they made the guy carry the football around campus because he kept dropping it. That's what you need to do, Stevie.
All right, time for my favorite segment. I can't believe it's been gone for so long, and I'm so glad to have it back. Jared, cue the graphic.
And now it's time for Worse Than the Bills with Randy Williams.
Woo! All right. Well, I had to do some soul searching and decide who really in the NFL could be worse than the Bills. As I said, my first preseason game, that this could be the season of Jim Kelly, number 12 years without a playoff appearance. But the good news, that does not set an NFL record. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers went from 1981 to 1997 without a playoff appearance. It was 14 consecutive years without being in the playoffs. Not only did they not go to the playoffs, simultaneously wore the ugliest jerseys, maybe in sports history. I mean, you're talking about up there at the classics, like the old blue and white Penguins jerseys, the old Astros jerseys, and every single jersey the San Diego Padres have ever worn. they made terrible mistakes. They drafted Steve Young and then traded him away when they got Vinny Testaverde, who, sitting on his bench doing curls today, might be better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's off topic. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won a Super Bowl. And I've heard more than one Buffalo Bills fan say they'd gladly trade four Super Bowl appearances for one Super Bowl victory. So it's really a toss-up. Tampa Bay, they've got such a mess of a past. And I mean, they look up to Peyton Manning's dad and just the whole family of goobers. I don't know. I'm glad to be a Bills fan as opposed to a Tampa Bay fan. So I've decided, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you are worse than the Bills. Oh, it's almost hard to say. All right, back to our game. Keys of the game. Nakia, is there anything the Bills can do to win?
I think the Bills have to run the ball. C.J. Spiller has to prove that he was worthy of a first-round pick.
Jared?
Well, Nakia did steal my keys, so I will have to say it's going to have to go back to time and possession, which is similar to running the ball, but we got to control the clock. We have to make sure we keep that that offense off the field and just dominate time and possession. That's the only way we're going to win is we have the ball longer.
I'm going to hope that Fitzpatrick takes some Harvard pride or something. I don't know, get some Yale fans in the audience to heckle him. Like, he made millions of dollars now and he hasn't done anything. I want to see something out of Fitzpatrick. Just throw a touchdown, do something with Fitzpatrick.
He last week.
But he hasn't looked good. He's been scared. He's trying to protect that, $1 million arm of his.
I don't know. I think he had 2 rough games and people were taking it too seriously.
So you think the Bills are going to win this? What's your pick?
My pick is the following. I personally think that the Bills are just not going to win the game again. I think the history is going to come back to haunt us. It's going to be 27-20 Titans.
Nakia?
I'm going with Tennessee also. I'm going with 24-20. I picked them to be 7-9 at the beginning of the season, so they got to get 3 more losses for this one.
I don't know. It hurts me to say this, but I'm choosing the Bills to win this game 24-23. It's going to be tight. But I don't have to watch it, so I don't have to worry about it.
I'm thinking of doing the Syracuse road trip, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
Is that the closest city? Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland's closer.
It would be cheaper just to show up and buy a ticket.
Yeah, it'd be cheaper. Yeah. All right, next week we're playing the Chargers of San Diego. Rabbit.